want to own a sports car, but you have kids? Well, BMW has the perfect solution for you. It is the 2017 BMW X5M. The BMW X5M comes with a 4.4-liter twin-turbocharged V8, which is directly implanted from the BMW M5. It comes standard with all-wheel drive and is mated to an 8-speed automatic ZF transmission. But more on performance in just a minute. This particular vehicle is for sale and is outfitted in the Long Beach blue exterior color, which is only an option on M vehicles, and the interior is silver stone. This particular model has 29,990 miles and is for sale for $61,997. That is a steal considering that the original MSRP of this vehicle was over $105,000. It is still under warranty, so be sure to check it out before it's gone. I'll put the link in the description below. Today's video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Jim from Unique Car Guy. This is actually one of the vehicles he has for sale, so if you guys are interested in this BMW specifically, I will put a link in the description below, and I'll also put a link to his website and his Instagram, which has more cool cars available. And if you guys are interested in a particular vehicle, then reach out to Jim, tell him which car you're interested in, because he can definitely find one because he has connections and relationships throughout the United States. Now in today's video, I'm going to focus on 5 main attributes, and that is practicality, safety, security, performance and handling, exterior and interior features and quality, and some hidden features to each particular vehicle. And I'm going to show you how the BMW X5M stacks up in all those categories. Now let's kick it off with practicality. The BMW X5 comes with all-wheel drive and has MPG of 14 in the city and 19 in the highway. The all-wheel drive system is interesting because it can send up to 100% of the power to either axle. It also comes with a torque vectoring differential. The curb weight of this vehicle is 5,303 pounds, but it can tow approximately 5,952 pounds, which should be more than sufficient to tow any large boat or camper. Now the X5M actually rides a little bit lower than the standard X5, which adds to the performance and handling of the vehicle. Although a third row is not available on the X5M, it still comes with 5 seats, 36 cubic feet of luggage space, and overall 105 cubic feet of passenger volume. This is the ultimate sports car grocery getter. And in terms of practicality, there's not very many vehicles that can do better in this same category. The only question that's up in the air is reliability. But more on that in just a second. From a practicality standpoint, I would definitely rate this car at least an 8 out of 10. The only reason it may not fill 10 out of 10 is just because of German reliability. Now, obviously, this car isn't going to be as reliable as a Toyota Prius, but at the same time, Cars.com rates it around 3.5 out of 5 stars, 3 being an average reliability vehicle, and so does JD Power and Associates. Keep this in mind, the average cost of ownership over 5 years is approximately $34,000 when a typical Lexus RX is $31,000. So you're really not looking at a huge difference between the two vehicles, but that may be the only reason I would notch this down from a 10 out of 10 being like a Toyota RAV4, just because those cars are a little bit cheaper, less expensive to maintain, and naturally a little bit more reliable. But as for towing capacity and interior cargo space, this car should definitely be on the top of your list if those features are important to you. The next thing I want to discuss is safety and security. I've got the window sticker right here, and this car came equipped with the Driver Assistance Plus package, which cost about $1,700, but added active blind spot detection, active driving assist, and surround view. So essentially what this car does is when you're pulling up to close, tight parking spots, it's going to give you almost like a 360-degree camera, as if there's a drone floating above your car showing you the entire area around your vehicle. So if you're used to pulling into really tight parking spots, then this car and the Active Driver Assistance Plus package is definitely something that you're going to need. The X5M also has a 4-star rollover rating, but a 5-star overall crash test rating. Overall, I would rate the safety a 9 out of 10. If you're looking at a 2017 model, obviously the safety tech was a little bit different back then, just 3 years ago, than it is today. Today you can find a car that can actively steer you and park you in a spot without you even being in the vehicle, whereas in 2017 the technology was a little bit different. And that's the only reason I'm notching it down 1 point to get it to 9 out of 10, because although this has active lane keep assist and blind spot monitoring, in today's world that's almost standard amongst a lot of different vehicles, but it's still very nice to have, especially if you're paying upwards of $100,000, or in this case $60,000 for a used vehicle. So now for the best part of the review, which is the performance and handling section. As mentioned earlier in this video, the BMW X5M comes with a 4.4-liter twin turbocharged V8 engine. It produces a whopping 567 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. It does 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds and does the quarter mile in 12.2 seconds. Now let's listen to the glorious exhaust of the X5M. Can you really canyon carve in this over 5,000 pound SUV? Well, the answer is yeah, you kind of can. This vehicle does have tunable suspension and steering wheel, so depending on the conditions that you're in, you can either increase or decrease the tension on the steering wheel so you're able to canyon carve a little bit easier. Now, although you can feel the weight of this vehicle, the handling of this car is superb. It obviously doesn't handle like a two-door sports car, but it's not meant to. Keep in mind, this is a tall SUV, and yet the steering is direct, precise, and you know exactly where you're going. You can feel some of the weight on the turns, but it definitely handles better than 99% of all other SUVs in the market. The 8-speed automatic ZF transmission is obviously amazingly quick, as it is in every other vehicle that it's used in. The shifts are very precise, and this is probably the best traditional automatic that you can get in any new vehicle. So when it comes to handling in an SUV, the BMW X5M can't really be beat. Now, obviously the performance and handling of this car are a 10 out of 10. BMW has done an exquisite job in delivering 5 seats, plenty of storage room, and yet when I'm driving behind the wheel, it's almost as if it's just me and the road in between us. M Performance has always been about making the ultimate driving machine, and this car definitely doesn't stray away from that. The way it turns, the way it handles, the way it accelerates, it leaves you asking for more, and it almost puts you in dangerous limits because of how well this car grips to the road. If you were wondering if the X5M is overhyped or if it's worth the money, I'm here to tell you it is definitely worth every single cent. The next thing that I'm sure is very important to all of you buyers is what is the interior and exterior quality and features. I would rate the exterior and interior an 8 out of 10. The reason I'm pegging it down from a perfect score is because the exterior although it has some subtle touches of an M model, which has fender flares and quad exhaust tips, and specifically this color option, it's not really that much different from a standard X5. Now, for some of you, that may be very important because you don't want something that sticks out like a sore thumb, and to others that are purchasing an M product, they may want those features. This car is not the one to stand out in a huge crowd, except this color definitely makes a difference when you're driving down the road. As for the interior, although it was very nice in 2017, large screens have kind of taken over in the last 3 years. I mean, finding a screen less than 8 inches is almost unheard of, even in the most basic of vehicles. So that is why I would notch down the interior just a little bit, but the inside of the car is an amazing place to be. You've got side bolstering that is adjustable. You've got a headrest that's adjustable even though it's connected to the seat. You've got extendable thigh support, and you've got paddle shifters that are very nice to the touch, connected to the steering wheel. The entire cockpit is very driver oriented, and you can tell as soon as you step in the vehicle that this is a sport activity vehicle, as BMW likes to brand itself. This particular model came equipped with the executive package, which was a $4,700 option at the time, and it includes a variety of different features like soft closing doors, heated steering wheel, ventilated seats, heated rear seats. You've got rear manual sunshades, which in my opinion should be automatic given the price range of the vehicle, but it's still nice to have regardless. Also gives you adaptive full LED headlights, automatic high beams, head-up display with its own personalized M menu, which is really cool, so you can see the exact revs as you're accelerating. Wireless charging inside of the center arm console, Wi-Fi hotspot, and other concierge services. I think it's definitely worth the $4,700, so if you can find yourself an X5M with that feature, which this car comes with, I would definitely recommend you look into that option. Also to note, this particular model comes with Apple CarPlay compatibility, which not all 2017 BMWs came with. All right, now on to the fun stuff. Let's talk about the cool features of this particular vehicle. Now, some of these items may have been briefly mentioned earlier in the video, but I thought it would be a good idea to bring them up again. To kick it off, let's talk about that amazing panoramic moonroof. It's covered in Alcantara suede when it's closed, but once it's open, it really opens up the interior of the vehicle. Let us also talk about the ambient lighting. Now, it's not anything new, but it is a very cool feature to have. BMW allows you to select a variety of different colors and different brightness to match your mood, and it definitely fits in with this vehicle. I also want to touch on the extensive use of carbon fiber throughout the interior of this vehicle, which just adds to the sportiness and expensive cool factor of this vehicle. BMW spared no expense by adding carbon fiber to the front and the rear seats as well. Looking at the exterior of the vehicle, there are actually functional air vents built into the front fenders. They funnel air from the wheel well to the side of the vehicle to assist in cooling down the brakes. This car does come with soft closed doors, which is kind of a useless feature but pretty cool looking and definitely makes for a very good boomerang. As with all M vehicles, the X5M has really cool side view mirrors that have a built-in blind spot monitor as well. Another cool feature found on the steering wheel is the BMW M1 and M2 buttons. These allow you to configure your steering, your suspension, and other performance dynamics so that with the click of a button you can get into your desired settings. A nice feature in the cargo space that adds to the practicality of the X5 are the adjustable strap hooks. You can slide the anchors along the track depending on what cargo you need to fasten, so it's a really nice feature to have. Another thing I want to mention is the abundance of sensors and cameras throughout the exterior of this car. They help to create that 360-degree view when you are parking in tight spaces. In other words, if you happen to scuff this vehicle, then you are doing something wrong. So let's sum up this video. If you are in the market for an insanely fast sports car, but you happen to need 4 doors, then this car should definitely be on your list. Regardless of the ratings that I've given this car in the particular categories, this car is not meant to be the most reliable, it's not meant to be the most practical or the safest vehicle. It's meant to be the most powerful SUV that you can buy. And honestly, this car does that 110%. I mean, 5 years ago, it'd be unheard of to have over 550 horsepower in a 5,000-pound SUV, and yet BMW accomplishes that without sacrificing any handling. This car accomplishes all of the things that you want from a sports car, and yet you can still take it to the grocery store, you can still take it to your kids' soccer games, and yet you can still carve it up a canyon when you have your free time. I think Jim at the Unique Car Guy says it right. You can have your cake and eat it too with this vehicle. And definitely reach out to him if you're in the market for any type of slightly used vehicle. He's had some really cool cars in the past, like a BMW i8 and a plum crazy purple Dodge Charger SRT. So he's your guy if you want anything in the United States and a specific vehicle. He's the guy that you can contact to make sure that you can get it. I will put a link to this vehicle below. Make sure you reach out to him if you're interested, because I don't expect it's going to last very long. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content, and find me on Instagram at @Schwayze_. And let me know your thoughts on the BMW X5M. Would you choose it over the competition? And let me know why. Thank you all so much for watching. I will catch you at the next video. Take care and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.